I was just going to say on Donald, the retirement stuff is just crazy. How Rodney Harrison nonchalantly drops it pregame, and you kind of are a little skeptical, but you believe it because he had the conversation with Aaron Donald. But he has a game like this, probably should be or could be Super Bowl MVP, and then could walk away out on top. Like this has never been done with a defensive player like this, walking out on top. He's going to turn 31 in a couple of months. I would love to see him continue to really stamp himself potentially as the greatest defensive player of all time. And I feel like you're cutting yourself a little short of that if you retire now. I get wanting to go out on top, but that's a major storyline.
Yeah, I agreed completely, Debo. And I would say this. If you are Aaron Donald and you did walk away after 2021, your career, there is not a single hole in you. The closest thing to a hole in your career, he's never missed a game in his career. He has won Defensive Player of the Year 3 times. He has won Defensive Rookie of the Year. He only didn't. He has been a Pro Bowler, an All Pro player every single year except for his rookie year when he was quote unquote just a Pro Bowler, and now he's a Super Bowl champion. He was in the All 2010s team. He is I'm trying to think if there's other awards that I'm missing. I mean, I think that would be the argument is that, you would look at his career and say, my goodness, this guy doesn't have like a single hole in his resume.
He sucks against and run defense. That was the talking point on Twitter a few years ago, I believe.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, it was like earlier this year or this offseason. I mean, the point being is that like Aaron, you would look at Aaron Donald's career and say he just had 9 years of like almost perfection from a defensive standpoint. I
guess it's like what else is there left to accomplish might be to get in his mind a little bit. You got the ring, like you just listed. He has everything that you could need from an individual accolade standpoint as a defensive player, and you got the ring now.
So if you look at Lawrence Taylor's career, this is actually kind of interesting. Lawrence Taylor played for, let's see, I think 10 seasons through his 30-year-old season. He only missed All-Pro 1 time. He won MVP, won 3 Defensive Player of the Years, 1 Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year in his rookie season. And then had 3 seasons where he played 14, 9, and 15 games. I don't think that maybe one was a suspension. The point being that Aaron Donald may think, I'm going to be done in 3 years anyway. I'm going to retire at my peak having just won a Super Bowl. The one thing I think that would change it is Matthew Stafford bangs out a contract extension quickly with the Rams, and it's believed that he's going to do that. And the Rams are like, look, we're going to go all out to try to run this back next year. And maybe
I'll say Aaron Donald at 34 and Lawrence Taylor at 34 years old are very, very different people. Right. Aaron Donald, one of the world-class athletes, treats his body like a temple all year round, and Lawrence Taylor, a lot of extracurriculars. That body was probably 74 when he was actually 34. Right, so that's right. I don't think Donald has shown any signs of decline at all. So that 34 is there. And I was just kind of looking around, 5 guys maybe that we consider, the best defenders of the past 40 years or so. Reggie White retired at 37 and then came back at 39 again. Dion retired at 33 and then came back at 39, obviously a different body type. Ray Lewis was 37 when he retired. Lawrence Taylor, 34. So 31 would just be remarkably young.
So here's the thing. I looked this up quickly, although nothing's quickly on Pro Football Reference in terms of trying to sort these things out. Just in terms of approximate value, and that's what Pro Football Reference uses to try to have a rough grade on these guys. Reggie White, no surprise, is number 1 among all defensive linemen. Bruce Smith is number 2. Junior Seau is number 4, which is pretty impressive. That tells you how good he was, and we sort of forget about that. Derek Brooks is on the list. LT is on the list. And Julius Peppers is 7th, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer, of course. Yeah. And you have to go down to 34. This includes guys who are also in the Hall of Fame, so take that in consideration. Aaron Donald's at 34. So just to give you some reference.
In terms of approximate value all time?
Yeah. And just hold on. Approximate value for Reggie White is 231. And then you go down to Strahan at 11, Hall of Famer. It's 161. As we sit here, Aaron Donald is at 130. So he's in the Hall of Fame. There's no question about it. I just don't know if we're ready to put him in the top 5 all-time of defensive players, even though I think he's absolutely an unadulterated, fantastic football player. that deserves everything that comes his way.
Well, I think he's probably top 5 or
Okay. Well, I'm just
I
saying
mean-
that it's not clear cut.
yeah. I mean, Debo, I know you weren't alive to watch Reggie White. Just kidding. Would you put Reggie White? Oh, look at you.
Debo shaved for the Super Bowl.
My goodness. Oh, look at the Reggie White picture. Would
Thank
you
you,
put
Debo.
you're obviously alive, but you were mostly alive for Reggie White's, or like your football memories are probably watching Green Bay Reggie White, right?
I mean, I was born in 91. He left the Eagles in 92, wins a Super Bowl with the Packers in 96. So it's more just like the legend of Reggie White and watching NFL films and all that. And you just hear about him as, just obviously the best Eagle of all time. And then
I
the
think-
Eagles fans will make the case him over LT for sure.
All right, so I think Reggie White played 15 years. Total approximate value is 231, as you mentioned, Wilson. That is 15.4 per year. I think this is what would be interesting to do with Donald, which is to say, okay, what if we do it on average approximate value, right?
Well, then that works out to, I think it's around 13 and change because this is his 9th season. Is that right?
That'd
Yeah,
be
so it's still-
13.33, yeah.
Still a little below. So he needs to somehow ratchet up.
Oh,
what
wait,
he's-
130. No, it'd be 14.44
So he's close. There you go.
for sure.
I mean, a little bit tougher to kind of measure.
I think so.
Someone on the interior of the line versus a linebacker or an end that's the Q. And he's still kind of putting up defensive end stats and kind of putting up these numbers, playing a little bit of a different position.
Yeah, I think.
No, that's right.
Yeah, I sort of wonder if what the accumulation of that approximate value is relative to an edge, because we know that edge rushers are more valued. And I do think too, you got to say, this is a guy who he's all right. How about this? He's probably the best defensive tackle to ever play the game.
Yeah, we'd have to ask Prisco because he knows history better than anyone. But I'm not going to argue with that off the top. I don't even know who number 2 would be.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough situation.
Casey Hampton for me, probably.